SoFi Stadium welcomes you back home for Week 18. Hello everybody. We are here for the final game of the regular season as your Rams at 11-5 look to at least attempt to secure the first overall seed. If we win and Dallas loses, we have a shot at having a tiebreaker. But today we are facing the Philadelphia Eagles, second behind the Cowboys over in the NFC East. And this is one of the league's premier offenses ever since Jalen Hurts took over as the quarterback. They have played so well behind their second round pick, and they are a top 5 offense both in passing and running and scoring. 29 rushing touchdowns, only 5 giveaways. How is that even possible with 1 week left on the season? I have no idea. But we have to game plan for him, and I'm worried more about his passing than his scrambling. I really don't care about the scrambles. I care about the passing because we saw last game, Trevor Lawrence absolutely tore us a new one passing through the air. Completely tore us apart. The secondary was just completely rattled pretty much the entire game. Except for that one pick by Byron Young, but he's a linebacker. We do get +3 man in zone coverage for this week, and we're going to need it because they've got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Mike Williams now, plus DeAndre Swift. This is a nasty, nasty offense. There's your playoff picture. They're currently the 5 seed. Probably not going to go any up from there because the Cowboys are 2 games up from them. But we're going to miss some key players in this matchup. Aaron Donald out for this week and next week. Jimmy Donald out and David Parson out, along with Kyron Williams, who's done for the season as we've known for the last couple of weeks. So a short-handed offense. We're going to put Puka Nacua over Tyler Johnson because of that very horrible drop towards the end of last game. But here we go. It is the final game of the season. We got to bounce back from that loss against the Jaguars and prove that we can take on a good offense and beat them as well. Looking for great play from both sides of the ball, but not sure what to expect with a great defense playing a great offense. But their defense also is middle of the pack. They're not very good. Quick side note, if you enjoy this video and want to see more, please like and subscribe. It goes a long way. It is our final game this year, everybody. Year 3 is about to come to a close, at least in the regular season. Philly starts with the ball. It's a great defense taking on a great offense here in Week 18. They're 10-6. We are 11-5. And out comes Jalen Hurts, 23 touchdowns, 3 picks on the season for him. He's been fantastic. He's taking care of the ball. This team is taking care of the ball. Only 5 total turnovers all season long. It's got to be one of the lowest ever, maybe. Just crazy, crazy stuff. And they're a top 5 offense for a very good reason. Here we go on defense to start this game. Hurts back to throw on the first play. Dumped off. And a gain of 6 on the first play right there. That is DeAndre Swift on the reception, still over here in Philadelphia after being traded here a couple years earlier. On the 26, Hurts rifles a pass. It's caught, and there's a broken tackle, and they get across into plus territory. That's Williams on the grab. 33-yard gain. Missed tackle from John Johnson III. I said last episode that wait, why did they show him? It was Richards who was trying to swat the ball away and missed the tackle. So a mistake by the star second-year corner. The X Factor. But already up to our 42-yard line. Hurts down the seam. Incomplete for A.J. Brown. Is there an injury? There might be. But notable inactive. We already talked about this. We're missing a lot of key players. So how can this defensive line step up with Aaron Donald no longer on the field for these next 2 weeks? Hurts tries to scramble, but he's taken down. It's Ernest Brown on the edge. He ran right into him. Well, that's a big loss to make it 3rd and 14 to go. I'd love to get off the field right here. Hurts, though, has plenty of time, but it's broken up in midair. Ernest Jones on the deflection. After a touchback punt, out comes Damon Craig trying to shake off a 2-interception performance last week in the 18-point loss to Jacksonville. He did throw a touchdown in the 4th quarter of that game, but by that time it was too late. His 2 picks were both in the end zone, on really good drives. So, hoping to see better against a worse defense here today. First pass off the mark. So we're going to see a lot more playing time for Puka Nacua and probably Brandon Randolph too. Going to see if Cooper Kupp can get involved here, but he only gets 1 yard off the receiver screen that really goes nowhere. 9 yards to go, trying to avoid a 3-and-out. We've had a 3-and-out, I think, to start half of our games this year. It feels like we dump it off. Nakua's got the first down, though. Good job. Fresh set of downs, but Herbert loses one on his first carry. Jimmy Ward comes in for the tackle. He's now over here in Philadelphia. Hand it off again. Herbert spins off a tackle and has a nice run. Gain of 7 to shut up 3rd and 4. Got to keep this drive going. Craig has time, and he finds Tyler Johnson for a first down. Had a big drop. Well, not really a big drop, but a pretty bad drop in the end zone on like a 50-yard pass from Craig last episode. And got to haul that one in, and he's not going to come back next year for sure. He does not want to come back, and after that drop, I decided that I think I'm done with him, despite his solid play otherwise. That's a pass that you have to bring in. After a 1-yard gain on 1st and 10, 2nd and long. Craig pressured and taken down. That one was allowed by Kevin Dotson. It's Jalen Carter for his first sack, and now we've got a 3rd and long coming up from our own 33. Empty backfield for Craig. He's got some time, but he's pressured again. He dumps it off for Hooper, but he's got nowhere to go. Not even close to the sticks. And the Rams will punt. A fantastic punt by Evans has the Eagles start their drive from their own 2. One of our better punts this season. Swift gets outside after getting stalled by his own lineman and still gets 9 yards out of it. How is that even possible? 1 yard to go. Swift loses a couple. Great job there by, I believe that was, is that Eric Armstead? It might be. Play fake on 3rd and 4. Hurts. Got a man wide open over the middle. It's Devontae Smith. As I said during our press conference, gotta watch out for the passing game. We weren't good against the pass last episode and would love to do better here against Jalen Hurts. But another first down for Philadelphia up across their own 35. We've seen this team struggle against good offenses all year long. We've played very well against teams that are not like a top 5, top 10 offense, but the ones that are have given us some problems, especially passing. The run defense has been fine. But Hurts is just hammered, but he somehow got the pass away. That was Warren Terry on the pressure. 3 guys trying to pressure that time. I think they might have been going for some kind of a screen, but just a blown up play. 10 yards to go on 2nd. Hurts has time, dumps it off to the outside, and another first down for Philadelphia. They're passing a lot to start this game. I'm going to go back to it here. Smith outruns 2 defenders, and Fuller has to make the stop. John Johnson took a horrific angle on that tackle attempt. It was supposed to be the secondary help, but he didn't offer any help at all. Gain of 6 here, already across 100 yards in this first quarter for Jalen Hurts. And once again, you're seeing this pass defense get torn to absolute shreds. That is going to end this first quarter. Philly approaching the red zone. Starts of the quarter. First play, caught, and he spun around for a short gain. 3rd and 1, now inside the red zone. Back to throw, Hurts, plenty of time, but it's dropped by A.J. Brown. You won't see that very often. A lucky break for this team. Will Philly stay on the field? They will not. They will settle for a field goal to break the 0-0 tie. The kick is up. And it is good. Philly strikes first. Just our second drive of the day because Philly has really milked the clock when they've had the ball. This one's caught by Hooper over the middle, gain of 4. We're going back to these dump-off plays. Haven't seen Craig on these first 6 attempts really throw it beyond the sticks. Hardly at all. We hand it off. Herbert's got a nice hole, good running as well. And he's got the first down. Back to throw. Quick one over the middle. It's Cooper Kupp across the 50. Or at the 50. That was our longest pass of the day. Want to see more plays like that going about 20 yards downfield. We hand it off in midfield. Herbert doesn't get a whole lot this time. Gonna stick with the passing game here, but Craig throws it away. Had pressure from a couple defenders behind him. Another 3rd and long coming up, trying to keep this drive going. Craig just stumps it off. Come on. I'm trying to avoid this. We're going to punt. I want to take one look here and just try and break this play down to see if there was anybody open. Was this a good check down or was it not? This was a bad one. You've got Cooper Kupp wide open over the middle here. Closest guy within about 3 to 4 yards of him, but he's wide open. You've also got, and that's pretty much it. It's Cooper Kupp who's got a first down by a mile, but instead you dump it off to Zeke. And Craig's first read looks like he's looking towards Tyler Johnson, and then immediately looks left, completely just bypasses both Nacua and Kupp, and then just dumps it for Zeke. This is what I'm trying to avoid, but it's still a problem. And this time the punt was horrible. A 25-yard punt from the 48. Amazing. Philly starts from the 23. The offense gives it right back. 7:22 on the clock. It's still a 3-point game, but Swift has a hole. John Johnson makes the tackle at the 41. On the ground again, but this time Swift has nowhere to go. He's had 2 runs that have gone for no gain, or just about, and then 2 runs that have gone for pretty big ones. 9 yards to go on second. Ertz, good protection, and he's got a man wide open. It's A.J. Brown across the 35 in Rams territory. Ertz in the pistol. He's going to throw. Left side, deep shot, got it to Smith in the red zone, now down at the 12. Up to 158 passing yards for Jalen Hurts. 1st and 10, new set of downs. Swift the handoff, but Hassan Reddick takes him down. Loss of 1. Another handoff for Swift, but how does he get yards out of this? You can't be serious. How does he get 10 out of that play? That should have been a loss of 3. That's embarrassing, man. That's so embarrassing. 3rd and 1 from the 2. Swift has the carry, and he spins in the end zone, breaking a tackle from Reddick. It's 9-0. PAT pending. We gotta get ourselves on the board here prior to halftime. Let's make it a 1-score game, give ourselves at least a shot in the second half, because if we don't score, I'm not sure I feel too confident in this team to hold Philly to less than 10 points in the second half, especially given the way that the offense is playing, because they really aren't playing at all. I honestly feel like the real-life Cowboys, where, at least right now, we can't beat the really good teams, we can beat the bad ones, but the good ones are all beating us, and pretty handily too. 1st and 10 from the 39 after that catch by Cooper Kupp. Gonna throw again. Craig has passed it well, but this hasn't thrown it downfield as Hooper breaks a tackle and gets in plus territory. Following the 2-minute warning. We still have all 3 timeouts. They do too. Craig, pass, caught for a first down. Nice grab in traffic by the rookie Brandon Randolph. It's his first grab of the day. A pass here on this play over the middle. It's Hooper again for 9. Just shy of the sticks. A couple inches to go. We're going to throw again. Craig for the end zone. It's broken up. Trying to find Kupp in the back corner. We saw him get picked off twice on passes to Kupp in the end zone last episode. Do not want that to happen again. That was pretty close to a pick. You flare out to Kupp. He's got the first down, just barely. The drive keeps going. Play fake on the 23 for the end zone. At the back, broken up for Nakua. Under a minute to go now in the half. This one's dumped off for Puka. He's got 4. 3rd and 6 coming up. Would really love to get in the end zone here, given how well this drive has gone so far. But don't got to force anything here. Let's just play smart. Don't let the clock wind down here. Craig steps up. He's got space and a first down. Let's call timeout. There we go. All right. 10 yards to go. Pretty much first and goal from the 10. 13 seconds to play. Pressure immediately, and Craig just heaves it. How do you allow that pressure immediately? We saw a similar play with Terry on Hurts earlier. Now only 10 seconds left. Gonna throw again, as you would expect. Craig throws it away again. We're taking a field goal? There's 6 seconds left. I mean, sure, I guess. It's up and in from Gano, but as soon as we got towards the red zone, we had like 4 straight incompletions. You can't be doing that. But at least we scored in the first half, I guess. Billy's going to return the kickoff. I guess I got to increase the kickoff power because every kickoff so far, besides the first one also was short of the end zone. How? I put it up to 60. Oh well. It's halftime. Philly leads 10-3. We had our best drive to end the half, but could not put a touchdown on the board, which we have struggled to do so far this year. The red zone offense has not been very good, especially scoring touchdowns. What's going on throughout the rest of the league here in Week 18? You got Arizona in Seattle for another NFC West matchup, and the Cardinals are booming the Seahawks at halftime in a shocking performance. They're 4-12, but they're up by 3 scores on the 9-7 Seahawks, who are going to be a playoff team most likely. And over in San Fran, the other NFC West opponent is hosting the Texans, and they're also getting blown out 21-10 at the break. The Texans are only 3-13, but they're making the Niners pay so far. And over in Dallas, you got the Broncos visiting Arlington, and they're going to be leading at halftime as well, 10-3. So a lot of upsets brewing, and the Cowboys are the 1 seed right now. So if we can win this game and they lose that one, we might get back in the running for the first seed. I'm not sure, because they haven't secured it yet, but I'm not sure if the other team that it has the same record as us has the tiebreaker over them. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But here we go, second half, starting right now. Here's your kickoff. The big second half coming up, and we're going to take it out of the end zone for no reason at all. You don't even get close to the 25. But at least we have the ball. We can put ourselves on the board again. Little 2-for-1 on the ends of either half. Play fake on first. Dumped off for Kupp. How is the play fake a 3-yard throw? Another play action play. Craig's pressured and he throws it away. Craig really needs to start making some faster decisions here. And some better ones too. We're going to punt. 3 and out. Let's check this one too. You got trips to the right of your screen, just barely. And you got Herbert in the backfield, so we're in the gun. And you could go to Cooper Kupp. He might reel that one in. You could go to Tyler Johnson, who has some separation right here. But instead, we dump it off for Herbert, who's got less separation than both Kupp and Tyler Johnson, who are beyond the sticks. I get if you throw it to a Johnson, you have to throw it over this guy right here, number 24. But you cannot be throwing this to Herbert when you've got Cooper Kupp over here, who is open pretty much. Another play where Cooper Kupp is open that Craig just doesn't even just hit him. These are the mistakes that are costing us first downs and scoring drives every episode. So we waste our first possession, and Philly comes back out as if they're just going to start the half with the ball, essentially. 1st and 10. Once again, trying to rely on this defense, and that one's hauled in. A lot of blue shirts around him, but it's right to Smith. I just got to see pressure from Byron Young or Badland or somebody. We're not getting anything on Hurts right now, and Swift is tearing us apart too. Gain of 9. I can't help but think that if Aaron Donald's playing right now, probably has a lot less rushing yards. Swift outside, outrunning Murray inside the Rams 30. Averaging over 5 yards per carry now. Now they've got Jalen Hurts in the zone. Just things keep getting worse for this team. But he's pressured, he throws it, and he's got the first down. It's Williams. So he's got just shy of 70 receiving yards. Swift lost the ball, and we recovered it, but was he down? I can't help but think this one's going to come back. Booth review coming up. Yep, here it is. Let me guess, he was down by contact. It was all for nothing. As expected, that whole thing was a goddamn sham. 2nd and 8 for Philadelphia. They hand it off. Swift has a hole. He spades into the end zone. Touchdown, Philly. 6 plays, 70 yards, less than 3 minutes off the clock. What happened to this defense? It can't just be one player being gone, and that's been the difference maker. That just can't be true. Nobody else is stepping up. Nobody's making plays. Everyone's getting burned. We're not getting pressure. This defensive line is playing terribly. And we're down by 14 just like that. Play fake on 2nd down. Craig rifles one to Johnson. Tough catch in traffic. First down. Other play action, but Craig's got pressure. He finds Johnson. He breaks a tackle, and he's across the 50. 2nd and short. Craig steps up. He's taken off. He's got some running room. Across the 30 and sliding. First down. Couple of nice runs by him so far in this game. Good awareness to run for the first with nobody open down the field. But like against Jacksonville, we have moved the ball well on a couple of drives, but just can't put it in the end zone. Can we do it on this possession? Not yet. That one's off the mark. 10 to go. We hand it off. Herbert squeezes through a hole, but wrapped up after a short gain of 3. Nakobe Dean there on the tackle. Now another 3rd and long for this Rams offense as we approach the red zone. Craig out to the right, has Johnson wide open. First down. Back to the ground game. Herbert's across the 15, and now Josh Sweat is hurt, but pretty sure he's done nothing at all this game. No tackles, no sacks. Inside the red zone now at the 13-yard line, but taking a lot of time off the clock. Herbert across the 5, down to the 3. Couple of nice runs here in the second half. 1st and goal. We have to score a touchdown here. Go to the right side. Trips to the right. They got 2 defenders over there. They do get back. Craig finds Kupp for the touchdown. Finally, we get in the end zone. Took way too long, but it's back to a 1-score game. This defense has to step up on this next possession. After a good return, Swift comes back out. 11 runs for 80 yards. Already has two touchdowns. They lead the league in rushing touchdowns for a reason, folks. We're seeing it so far today. This defense needs a stop. They have a first down here on the first play. Pass defense and the run defense both have been just absolutely awful. It's getting torn apart, drive after drive. The score does not really reflect it, but it probably will by the end of the game. Another first down for Devontae Smith. He has now surpassed 100 yards on the day. Now they're going empty. This is terrifying. We have rarely forced incompletions. This one's caught, and now A.J. Brown's gone. Touchdown Philly just like that. Unbelievable defense that we have played in a bad, bad way. Played well for a lot of the year, but all of a sudden these good offenses have found the holes. DJ Reed gets beat and just gives up on the play. Nobody else quick enough to track down A.J. Brown. We're back down by 2 scores. This is brutal, man. How does Kupp have 7 targets, 6 grabs for only 35 yards? And how is the defense gonna do this to us? They've given us no chance to win this game. The offense has not played well either. And just all of a sudden, both sides of the ball, both of these last 2 weeks, just can't do anything. I don't see us winning a playoff game this year, despite the record. The record does not reflect how poorly this team has played. All honesty, like that just is not accurate. The record. We should be sub 500 with how we've been watching these games. We've lost, 5 of the games that we've watched so far this year? And that's all our losses so far, too. The third quarter's over. First play of the fourth quarter. To the air. Craig has so much time, and he just throws it away. There's no way there wasn't somebody open, or that he just cannot take off right there. Man. Some weeks are just hard to watch. Play fake. Hooper's wide open across the 45, first down. But only 168 yards for Craig on 22 completions. That's got to be way higher, man. I'm sorry. That's got to be like 240, 250. Hurts has more on less completions. Herbert, bowling balls ahead for 6. I just feel like the second the other team scores, you feel like that you just can't win these games, at least right now with this team. As soon as we fall behind, we lose. Every time. Dump off for Herbert. He's wrapped up for a short gain. We also have had no pressure on Hurts all day long besides that one sack which he ran into. Now they break up a 3rd and 3 pass. 4th and 3. We're going to settle for a field goal. You cannot be serious. I just don't agree at all. And he missed it too. It's like, what, his first miss of the season besides the 58-yarder? Wow. It seems this team is going from bad to worse week after week. Had a one good game with Chad Bolton. And Craig hasn't, he has not been horrible. He just hasn't been good. Sure, he hasn't thrown into bad coverage, and he hasn't thrown really a bad pass that was almost picked off, besides the one in the end zone for Kupp. But, man, we're not a threatening offense. We aren't a good scoring offense. And teams aren't afraid to let us throw the ball because we dump it off so much. And because of that, the defense is asked to do a whole lot more. They're on the field way more than the offense is. And that gives you almost no chance to win, especially when your defense is playing worse as the year goes on, which is the case for us. Swift somehow gets a near first down. 3rd and inches. Pass caught. First down, A.J. Brown. 18 for 22 is Hurts. 273 passing yards. That's more like it. But from the 30, Hurts has been in the zone since at least the early 3rd quarter, maybe since the 2nd. That one's offline. His first incompletion of the entire half. With six minutes to play. Just hurtful. and disheartening, frankly, for me. Swift wrapped up this time. 3rd and 12 coming up. I'm not sure I have faith in us to get this stop right here. I really don't think I do. It's not really a stop when you allow a field goal down by 2 scores. It is dropped by A.J. Brown, reading coverage. Kick is up, and it is good. 27-10. 1 point shy of the same score against the Jaguars. 5:12 to go. Starting from our own 32-yard line. We better be passing this ball the whole drive. I don't want a single handoff. I want to see Craig heave it. And he does. First down for Kupp across our own 45. Through the air again. We just dumped it off for Kupp within a second of the snap. Craig, give yourself some time to take your reads in, man. Kupp cannot be your first read there. You just can't. Just across midfield, though. A pass again. Craig, pressured. Throws it away. How many times have we seen that? 3rd and 7. Craig, pressured. He shakes off a defender. Runs and gets the first down. At least he's run it pretty well. When he's run it. A pass again. Under 3.5 to go. This one's broken up for Hooper. Craig steps up, dumps it off. Hooper's got it this time. In a 9. 3rd and 1 coming up. Got to go for it here. It's 4 down territory if you don't convert. But he's got time. There's Kupp again. He gets planted. 2 yards shy of the red zone. Kupp in the backfield. Interesting decision. Over the middle. Incomplete for Herbert. Back to throw again. There's Johnson on the slant. He gets 9. Another 3rd and 1. We just got across 200 passing yards. Just now. With just over 2.5 to play in the 4th quarter. Bragg has time. He's taken off. He's got some running room. And he slides. Crossing the 10 and now. Nick Harris once again hurts. That's going to bring in Fitzsimmons, the backup. We drafted a year or 2 back. 1st and goal from the 8. Craig for the end zone. Got it to Kupp again. Touchdown Rams. But once again, it is way too late. Fourth and 2. Philly stays on the field to try and put this game away, and they will do just that. They got the first down, and that will spend the rest of this clock. Philly takes us down handily here at home, and the offense fails to score even 20 points against a mid-tier a mid-tier defense. They're actually bottom half of the league, and we still couldn't do it. We still couldn't do it. This team is not winning a single playoff game. We're going to be out in the wild card, assuredly. These last 2 games really make you question how in hell this team has an 11-6 record. I'm really not sure. I think it's just been lucky in simming, and that's it. Because otherwise, if we would have watched every game this year, we're probably a bottom 5 team. But 283, 1 touchdown, no picks for Hurts. 221, 2 scores and no picks for Craig. But a 5.3 YPA compared to 11.3 for Hurts. He doubled, more than doubled Damon Craig. You can't win doing that. You simply can't. You cannot win in a game like that. Not possible. Swift tore us apart. The defense looked absolutely awful for the 2nd straight game. 101 for Smith. 77-1 score for A.J. Brown. We went to Kupp a lot. Finally, for the first time, it feels like with Craig as the quarterback. And he had 7 yards per catch. Look at Phillies. 16.8, 25.7, 13.6. This offense is so freaking bad, and the defense has completely fallen off the map in a matter of 2 weeks. Just so disheartening, and now we're here. Who is going to be our playoff opponent? We somehow win our division, but we're in the wild card facing the Panthers. We already faced them once this year. They beat us 19-7. That was the game that Bolton started, and it was like 3 for 12. Played awfully, had like a 4.8 rating. Craig came in, played pretty well, but could not get us over the hump in the second half. Now I have to face them once again. And Bryce Young played pretty decent against us in that game and passed pretty well. But our first playoff game of the series, and I'm not going to lie, I don't have a whole lot of hope, guys. I really don't, given how this team has played these last several weeks. We're down to a bottom 3 offense in terms of yards per game. So is theirs at 32. They're the worst, but, I mean, they were better than us last time we had faced them, so not even sure what to expect anymore. And this defense does create turnovers. They're number 1 in the league with 24 takeaways. We do lead in sacks. We'll go over those stats here in a second, but I don't have a whole lot of faith that we're going to win this game, but we'll see what happens. We'll do this scenario next game. Actually, no, let's just do it right now. Screw it. Why not? The first of many. Talk about your first playoff game. Coach, you're going to do your first playoff game. How important is your first playoff win? I cannot guarantee a win here. I absolutely cannot. Gotta play it cool, because we're probably going to lose. And for this game, thanks to some turf toe injuries, we're going to miss both Cam Robinson and Eric Armstead now in the playoff game, as well as Aaron Donald. But we do get Tremaine Donald back this week, as well as tight end David Parson, who will hopefully give a boost to this offense. Maybe if they play that game against Philly, we score a bit more, but we still probably lose that game. Now, right tackle, we're going to have Warren McClendon play there for the time being. At D tackle, we're going to go to Warren Terry, the rookie. The rookie D tackle moved from right end to D tackle. He will start there in our next episode. And here's your finalized playoff bracket. The Cowboys do hold on to the 1 seed. We are still the 2. Philly at 5, despite the same record as us. We're facing the 7 seed Panthers. The Packers are the 3. Falcons 4. Bucs at 6. Over in the AFC, the Jaguars do come out on top, and they are the 1 seed. The Bengals are the 2. They're facing the 7 seed Colts. The 3 seed Bills take on the 6 seed Titans. And the 4 seed Chiefs, who are the reigning champs, take on the 5 seed Ravens. Now for some player stats. Damon Craig over 2,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, 8 picks, 68% from in terms of completion percentage, 188 yards per game, but that doesn't really count because that includes all games where he's even appeared at all. So if he's been the guy that holding the snap for kicks or whatever, then that also adds on those. So that doesn't really matter that much, but the rating is worse than Chad Bolton's, who had 8 touchdowns, 3 picks, had a 1 really bad game, which was why he was benched. Yards per attempt, below 7 for all 3 quarterbacks. Longest pass of 80, but that was in a sim game. Stacked 23 times, Bolton 9 times. Yeah, not the best year for him, for either player. I doubt he wins Rookie of the Year. I don't think he would, even if he wasn't benched for those games for Bolton. I really don't. But for Herbert, ends up going for 4.3 a carry, so ends up being a solid year, but he missed the first couple of weeks because Williams was starting before he got hurt. But I think we can maybe rely on him and Evans as a decent duo next year, but I'm still thinking about another running back to go after. But 6 touchdowns for Herbert, 1 fumble. Williams had 2. He's not going to be coming back. Receiving, Kupp over 1,000 yards. but he was completely let down by his quarterbacks, and nowhere close to leading the league this year. He does get 12 touchdowns, though, which is nice, but could have had a lot more, I feel like, for all these players. 628 for Nakua, only 2 touchdowns. Parson, only 2 touchdowns. Donald, 564 with 7. Johnson, 42 with 3. In terms of blocking, we were actually a pretty good offensive line. Our left tackle allowed 7, which is about what you would expect for a pretty decent left tackle. I think 7 is not a bad amount, but would love to be a little bit lower. But only 3 for McClendon, 3 for Cam Robinson, 3 for Fitzsimmons, 3 for Griffin. Well, I guess we had a lot of injuries to our O-line, so it kind of adds up to a pretty high tally. But nobody, I guess, was too bad, except Ellerby allowed 2 on 64 snaps. That's not good. But everybody else was, I guess, all right, except for Griffin. Defense, our leader in tackles with Murray with 119. Ernest Jones had 107. Tackles for loss, 30 for Aaron Donald. That is absurd. 21 for Baslin is very good. And 13 for Hassan Reddick. Only 8 here for Byron Young, who took a big drop in terms of his role on the defense this year because of Hassan Reddick. A 20.5 sack for Donald, despite missing a handful of weeks. Hassan Reddick, 12.5. He was pretty good this year. Baz Knight, 7.5. Young, 3.5. 3 for Ernest Brown. I want to see more from Byron Young as the X Factor. He's probably going to go down to superstar this year because of the lack of production. 4 picks for Richards. Had pretty much none the last half of the season. 3 for Reed. 2 for Johnson. 2 for Fuller. We got to force more turnovers here, and we just didn't really do it. Forced fumbles. We had 4 total, but only 1 was recovered the entire season. That is incredibly bad. Graham Gano, 13 for 15. He was great. Across the rest of the league, though, Dak Prescott leads the entire league in passing yards with just over 4,600. Nobody else even close to 4,500. Leader in touchdowns was Lawrence with 36. He tore us apart and threw 4 against us. Prescott right behind him at 35. Leader in picks was Kirk Cousins, followed by Stroud, then Richardson, then Geno Smith, and Mac Jones. And Joe Burrow, 34 touchdowns, 1 pick. How? How is that even conceivably possible? It's not. Yards per game, Dak Prescott. Best rating, the guy who actually played, Joe Burrow. On the ground, Bijan Robinson about 145 yards, 135 yards shy of 2K at 15 touchdowns. A great year for him and for Jonathan Taylor and Etienne and Derrick Henry, Najee Harris. I mean, so many running backs played well this year, and none of them were ours. So that's great. Leader in touchdowns was Harris and Mixon, both with 16. Receiving, CeeDee Lamb popped off, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. 12 for Chase on 1,400. And much more. On defense, Malcolm Izzo, the rookie linebacker, had 163 tackles to by far lead the league. This guy's a maniac. He's a superstar too, wasn't he? He's a star, but this guy's pretty sick. I thought about drafting him, but went a different direction. Aaron Donald does lead the entire league in terms of tackles for loss. And we had, where's Quincy Basnight? He had 21. He should be in here too. What the heck? Donald also leads the entire league in sacks despite missing a couple of games. He's probably going to win a couple of awards. Alexander gets 9 picks to by far lead the entire league. Trayvon Diggs with 5 behind him. Everybody else had 4 or lower. And kicking, looks like the best kicker was Will Lutz, who was perfect on the season. So lots of things to fix for this team, and not sure how this game against the Panthers is going to go, but I think we're probably going to lose it. But to end off, we have not talked about any prospects so far, so let's talk about them. We're going to go over prospects that I have added to our draft board, not guys that I have not added to the draft board. Probably going to trade up at some point in the draft. But my favorite player in this draft is a receiver, David Jackson. And I like him because he is an absolute machine in terms of being a deep threat. A deep route, B release. Catching does need some work. And he does have to work on some simple concentration drops. But this guy can hopefully really spread the field. Can allow us to pass it down the field. But he's a great athlete. Great to elite speed, agility, acceleration, change of direction. He's got A ball carrier vision, A carrying, A to B break tackle, A to B awareness, B juke move, A to B run block, B spec catch, decent short route running, A spin move. He is a playmaker through and through. And I think he is a really solid player. I might trade up to get this guy in the draft. Then you got the tight end Javon Kramer, who is an absolutely elite tight end, probably a superstar. I'd be shocked if he was lower than a superstar for his depth trait. But an absolutely just crazy athlete, great to elite for everything except for strength, where he's good to great. But he's got A awareness, break tackle, carrying, catching traffic, catching, deep route, medium route, and spec catch with B pass block, run block finesse, stiff arm, and trucking. And he does have F injury, which is why I'm not opposed to drafting him, because we do have David Parsons still as well. Could be a really nice dual tight end tandem, but just not sure if we can have two good tight ends, because that doesn't really work that well in terms of playing time. So who knows? But he's a crazy good tight end, also a good offensive player. I'm trying to go offense here in the first round because I want to give Craig some more weapons to work with. And I want to replace Tyler Johnson, maybe get somebody better than Puka Nacua in there. But who knows? Then you got Jerry Kelly, who is probably going to go first overall. He's first on the draft board for other teams, not for us. But A release, really good player. Decent athlete, not great, but he's got good strength, good jumping. Or great jumping, rather. And he is pretty much only bad at juking. But he's a great route runner, great spec catcher, can catch in traffic, does not have good catching in general, which makes no sense. But A release, A stiff arm, A run block. He can contribute in a lot of different facets. Also a pretty good option, which is why he's top 3 on this board as of right now. Then you got right tackle Zach Phelps, who is a very good athlete. Great to lead for everything except for jumping, which makes sense for an offensive lineman. But good impact blocker, lead blocker, pass block finesse. He's okay. Run block is okay. We need a bit more info on him, but he seems to be a pretty solid player. The same goes for Felix McIntosh, who is also a fantastic athlete. Speed good to great. Everything else great to elite. But for him, need more info on him, but the F injury really stands out to me. But he's got really good pass block finesse, which is good for Craig. But I'm not sure if tackle is really a need right now, but it could be if we want to go younger on the offensive line. You got another receiver here, Trevor Clifford. A catching, C release, D deep route, C catching traffic. He's a playmaking archetype. Pretty good athlete though, good to great speed. Great to elite agility in general. Good vision. Good break tackle. Good kick return. Good spin move and spec catch, as we already knew. Route running is decent for medium and short. He's a decent run blocker. Stamina, though, is pretty damn low, so he won't be on the field as much as other receivers will. So he's okay. That was Trevor Offer, not Trevor Clifford. The next guy is Keon Clifford. The B catching, B deep route, C release, but cannot really catch the ball in traffic all that much. He's a playmaker. Another just pretty damn solid athlete with good awareness, ball carrier vision, kick return, spec catch, and spin move with pretty solid break tackle, carrying, catching, deep route. And honestly, he's a pretty good overall route runner to start out. Most guys don't have C's or B's only. It's usually a D in there somewhere, but he's actually not that bad. So he is a pretty well-rounded player besides the catch in traffic, but everything else is pretty damn solid. And his injury is only B, so he's going to be healthy all the time. You got another tight end here, Jeff Reinhardt. Not as good of an athlete as Javon Kramer is, but everything else looks to be in a pretty damn good range for him. Need a bit more info, but if these all come out pretty well, he's another really top tight end to go after. So, could be an option there, but same problem with him and Kramer. And you got Johnny Ramsey, a power center who seems to be very, very good in the power. A awareness, a impact block, lead block, A to B pass block, C pass block finesse, A pass block power and run block power. So that'll be nice for a non-power scheme or for a power scheme. But for us, we're running a finesse scheme and he's got D run block finesse. So could be an option, but probably won't do him for the offensive lineman. Then you got Kurt Dunn here, who is a absolute machine in terms of the athlete. He is a perfect offensive athlete. Kurt Dunn is probably my top second round pick here. I'm going to use my extra scouting for him once we get to that. I only have 3 options to use it for, but once we get it in the offseason, I will use this on him because this dude, I'm going to have to move this guy up our draft board because of how good he is with the B run block and pass block finesse, B overall run block, C pass block, A lead block. Pretty good awareness. He's good. He's great, even. You got another scheme fit here, Leo Gregory, who is also a fantastic athlete. Either guy is really, really good. He's got even better run block finesse, similar pass block finesse, better pass block, better pass block, same run block. Stamina's pretty low, but this dude is also pretty damn solid. I kind of want to get in an upgrade over Nick Harris to help out the running game and the passing game. The offensive line is not a huge concern, but it could really help. And depth is important, and I want to go younger on the offensive line too, for sure. So right now I'm going to move him and Kurt Dunn up on our draft board real quick. Pretty much just behind David Jackson, just so we know that these are our 2 top offensive linemen. Now we got Zach McCoy. This guy is also agile, and he's also another fantastic athlete on the offensive line. A impact block, a pass block finesse, B run block finesse. So if you want to prefer a guy that is a better pass blocker, then you go him. But we don't know about his full pass block. His stamina is fantastic, though. A stamina is great. With A run block, injury could be low, or is going to be pretty low most likely, but we need some more info on him before I feel comfortable. But he is another solid mid-round, potentially a day 3 pick. So, yeah, solid player here too. Then you got defensive tackle Randy Duhan, because we are not going to bring back Armstead for now, but B tackle, B block, shed, C finesse moves, C power moves. Pretty well-rounded. Solid athletes. A play rec. Injury is not going to be that low. I feel like he can really contribute in general across a lot of different phases for us as a solid depth guy, but he is around 1 or 2 projections, so probably won't be able to take him because I want to focus on the offense here in the first round. But then at corner, this guy's got me really intrigued. Marcus Green. A catching, B man coverage, B press, B zone coverage. Fantastic athlete, good to great speed, very agile, very quick, and the only real concern is the play rec, but everything else is absolutely fantastic. He's a great player, and I like him a lot. Then you got Ramon Robinson, another man-to-man corner, another fantastic athlete, much faster than Marcus Green is, with great to elite speed. But A man coverage, B zone coverage, C tackle, C press, C play rec, A to C catching, hit power, A to C. Everything else we need more info on. But another really good corner that if you get 2 first-round picks, if you trade up a little bit and you have 2 first-round picks somehow, another good guy to go after. But to have 3 first-round picks in 3 straight years feels a bit cheap to me, so probably not going to do that. But we'll see what happens. And you got safety Brian Hightower, because I'm really thinking about replacing John Johnson and Jordan Fuller both. So we'll see what happens there. But B hit power, B man coverage, C tackle, B to C zone coverage. Crazy good athletes, very fast. B play rec, A to B finesse moves. He can pass rush, B catching, A awareness. He's pretty much the complete package, except for the injuries. But Brian Hightower, if he falls to the second round, another good option here to go after. Then you got Miles Yates, B hit power, D man coverage, B tackle, B zone coverage. So a zone safety here. Another good athlete, not as fast at all as Hightower, but B awareness, C block shed. He's a bit worse overall than Hightower is, but still a solid pickup if you go after him late first round, early second. Then you got JJ House, who is a pretty solid player, really good athlete. B awareness, C block shed, B to C man coverage, A to B zone, C tackle, B hit power, can't pass rush, but has really good catching at A to B, and good pursuit and play rec as well, but low injury again on these safeties. Your last prospect here is Zach Ellis, a mid-round power back with A ball carrier vision, B break tackle, B carrying. I haven't really seen good running backs in any of these drafts so far, and I'm just waiting for one to pop up before I can go after one. But he's not very fast, but he is pretty strong. Otherwise, not a very good athlete at all. But good stiff arm, good trucking, carrying, break tackle, ball carrier vision. But out of the backfield, won't be doing a whole lot of route running or catching here. We need a lot more info before we can really feel good about picking him in the 3rd or 4th round. Those are your 19 prospects so far. And some good ones towards the top and towards the 2nd and 3rd rounds. But after that, not a whole lot of guys to be happy about besides Zach McCoy here. But that is going to do it today, folks. Thanks so much for watching as always. Please like, subscribe, comment your thoughts down below as we are entering the playoffs against the Panthers next time out. I'll see you guys there. Take care and peace.